Welcome to How to Find Winning Products 2.0. We've revamped this training to make this easier and a little bit more of the program. I had the initial two-step training, the first one having the product worksheet, and then the second one having the checklist. Now, I will keep these two trainings in here because I think they're still valuable, but we're now obviously adding a third training, which will be titled Winning Product Checklist 2.0. And this will still require you to make a resource sheet, so a product market research sheet here. And this is the sheet that you can fill out and send to me whenever you find a product and you want me to validate this. Do not ask to share it here or edit it. You have to hit file, make a copy. And then from here, you would type out the product, the name of the product. So let's say these are cat wipes. You leave this part blank. You put the competitor's store here. So if I had a store for a brand, let's say that we're just going with, let's just use this brand here. Give me one sec. She Vitality. Okay. So let's say we're using this brand. Actually, I just use one of my examples. What am I doing? So let's say I was scrolling through the ad library and I saw a competitor that I thought could be a good brand that I can replicate. The way you would use this worksheet is simple. Under competitor, you would just find the competitor's website. So let's use this example. Let's go. And if they're using an avatar like this, just go to their product page, copy the link of their store, and you would put that under here, paste that under here. Okay. Because my computer does not want me to paste. Paste that here. And then the ad library is obviously their ad library. So this is their ad library. Just make sure it's their ad library and copy the link here. And then paste that there. Now, sometimes all you need to do is just show me one competitor. Sometimes I may ask you to find me another competitor. And that's when you would do the same thing. And if I approve it, I will mark this as good to test. If I think that if it doesn't fit the criteria, nope. And then if I ask you to do something specific, I'll tell you to check notes and then you can verify from there. Okay. So that's how that works. All right, so now let's actually go into this. So for the students that have been here and already seen the original training, welcome. We have some new cool things to talk about. For the students that are fresh and don't even know what I'm talking about when it comes to these other trainings, it's okay. I'm going to break down everything in detail. All right, so first things first is understanding product research, right? Create and reinvent a new product. All types of products are being advertised right now on Facebook, right? So one way or another, whether it's a cream, anti-aging, wrinkle cream, hair loss, or hair growth supplement, whatever, they're being advertised on Facebook, right? And this is the Facebook platform. This is a combination of Threads, Instagram, and Facebook. So the goal for us when looking for a product, we want to find a competitor that is taking up market share enough for us to know that the product is validated, but not too much to where it's the entire market share and now we can't compete with that competitor. Right? So that's super important. And the strategy and checklist that I'm going to show you will make it super easy for us to find the best likelihood and the best opportunity of accomplishing that. Okay. Actually, let me go to my mirror boards here. Is this here? Do I have the drawing? Nope. Okay. I guess I deleted the drawing. Basically, right, if we were to write this on a graph here, potential money to be earned and time in the market, this is like a good product, right? So think of something like a gimmicky product that goes viral and then no one wants to buy it after, like a fidget spinner. This is how it would look, right? It goes really viral and then boom, it shoots down. So the potential earned income is here, right? And obviously if it's going down, that means there's not as much potentially earned income because it was a viral product, it was a trend, and then it wasn't good anymore. Good products are like this, right? They will increase, they'll reach a peak, and then they'll start to weather down a little bit. So they'll start to go down a little bit here. As it reaches its peak, this is the potential of earned income, right? It reaches a peak and then it starts to whittle down a little bit, but it will fluctuate up and down like this, right? Because as new people have new problems, they will replenish this market of potential earned income. And every now and again, we'll see like certain trends shoot back up. A real life example of this is something like magnesium, right? So this is magnesium over an extended period of time. As you can see, the demand and interest for magnesium has increased across the world over the last 5 years, and I'm using Google Trends to get this data. So as we can see here, as it increases, there's little dips here, but overall it's increasing. But you see that there's little dips here, right? So obviously the demand and the search volume is increasing, and it's really like taking up a lot of momentum over the last year here. And this is what a good evergreen product is, right? This is the general scope of an evergreen product. So we are looking to sell evergreen products that solve obviously a problem. And the problem with this is that every dropshipper knows this. Every dropshipper knows that if they want to build longevity and consistency, they're going to try to sell products that have always been around for ages on ages, right? And now the goal here is how do we remarket these same products so we can compete without directly competing with somebody? That is the name of the game, and that's what this training is going to be primarily about, how to find products that are evergreen, solve a problem for a older demographic, right? On average, people older than the age of 35. It's a serious problem, not something like, oh, my coffee gets cold after about 10 minutes in my hand, so now I need a coffee warmer. No, I need like serious problems, like sometimes life and death, right? Sometimes like supplements for a lot of people can be the difference between quality of life, right? Relationships, how that impacts your relationship, your parents, insecurities, things that are so painful that every single day that person is dealing with that issue. So the checklist I'm going to break down, it's specifically to show you how to find products that are growing that we can compete with, but I'm also going to talk about how we can find specific products that have enough validation in one-to-one, like the original product checklist strategy teaches. We're going to use a different marketing strategy, which are just picture ads, which is what we always do. But instead of finding other people that are doing the same thing we want to do, we want to find competitors that are scaling with video ads. And then instead of competing with them by copying their stuff one-to-one or slightly changing it, we're just going to run picture ads instead. Now, this is important because what I've learned after coaching and managing, 50 plus students at this point is that a lot of you guys are running into high CPMs, right? CPMs just stands for cost per milli. And this is a metric you can see on your Facebook ads library or dashboard rather. And high CPMs are an indication of, hey, it is really expensive to run these ads, largely because other people are speaking to this exact audience and your marketing isn't unique enough for us to keep your CPMs lower. And that is one of the biggest indicating factors, because I would see students, all their other metrics would look good, but their CPMs are so high that it makes it impossible to actually be profitable. And this would be really mentally, stressful, because you find a good product, you build a store that looks nice, you run ads that are good, but for some reason you're still not profitable and you're getting sales, and it's because you're running into market saturation. Now, the product itself isn't saturated, but the marketing angle is. How we sell the product is getting saturated, but the product itself isn't. Right? I could tell you right now that there are so many different people selling magnesium on Facebook, Google, whatever. You'll see it on Amazon. But the way people can come into the market and still scale is by just changing how we make content to sell to those people. So what I want to teach you guys here is how to find winning advertisers scaling specifically video ads so we can make picture ads instead. An example of this, a very soft example, is this ad campaign here. I am selling a digestive gut supplement, right? Today's the first day of this brand, but I just want to show you the campaign setup. And the strategy, obviously, if you don't know by now, but for those of you that are new, we run a CBO campaign with 5 different ad sets that are 5 ad sets with the same exact pictures, but different long form copy to speak to our target audience. And the strategy here is using native image ads with long form copy that are disguised as a natural ad, but is used to kind of sell a long-term story to our target audience. So for the example of this, right, this is a digestive supplement, right? We go into the ad itself. There are 5 image ads here, or I believe 6. Am I running 5 or 6? Hold on. I think I'm running 6 images. Right, I'm running 6 images. If I open up these images, right, they look like regular pictures that somebody took from their iPhone, and that is by design, right? We are trying to compete with people spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day on ads. So to compete with them, we can't do the same thing that they do, because they're just going to outspend us every single time, right? The way Facebook works, it's a bidding strategy. And the way that they give people the better customers normally is the amount of time they've been running ads and then how much they're spending, right? So it's time and then amount of ad spend. That is how Facebook decides who gets the customer that's most likely to spend money. So for you, somebody that's watching this right now, you're starting off learning dropshipping, you have a small limited budget, you probably can spend maybe $50 to $100 a day consistently before you start panicking and saying, hey, I'm not making money, what's going on? So my goal is to give you the most bulletproof strategy to be successful. It's not going to be 100% guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in this world, but this is going to give you the greatest chances of success, right? But you have to understand the concept, the theory, why the things are the way they are, right? So if everyone's running video ads, that's good. If a competitor is running video ads, that's good. We want to run some picture ads. And the reason why is because it allows us to stand out without having to compete directly. And also Facebook will say, hey, you're running a different type of ad. We're not going to group you up with an advertiser that's spending $10,000 a day, because that's what they will do, right? If you have the same kind of UGC style ad or an infomercial style ad, they're going to group you up with them, and then it's going to make it really hard to compete with them. So over the last year and a half, what has become really popular is this strategy here of just picture ads with long form advertorial. So if we look here, if I hit see more, it's this really long, detailed story from the perspective of somebody that we're looking to sell to, right? So the goal here is to sound as if some type of Facebook mom got on Facebook and wanted to share a very, very detailed. I spent $7,000 on gut health protocol with 12 daily steps before discovering the complexity itself was triggering my digestive chaos. Let me show you the blah, blah, blah. I spent 3 hours meal prepping for him my 47 improved foods. My kitchen counter looked like a pharmacy, right? So this all is done by AI, right, which is in the training, in the course, in the program. But the goal here is to write some really long copy from the perspective and from the angle of this type of person. And we're going to test and split test 5 different angles with the same images, same headline, but the only difference is the copy is different. So that was one example. Here's another example, right? So you can see here, my boss asked why I scheduled meetings for 2 p.m. When I finally told her the truth about my morning, she said something that changed how I saw my IBS forever, right? And then I have a picture of a toilet. Now, again, each ad set has the same images. The only difference, as you can see here, is just the long form copy. And this entire copy is different for each ad set. So less about this training here. We have a whole separate training on that. But I just want you to understand how when we find a product that's scaling and winning, how we're going to market it different than the competitor so we don't compete with them, but we still take the integrity of what they're doing, right? We'll still replicate their store. It's totally okay to copy their store pretty much one-to-one with some small differences like improving the offer. And then our entire marketing strategy should be different than the competitor. All right, so now that we got that nice little synopsis out the way for 15 minutes, let's actually get into the new check. We refer back to this pretty frequently because there's a lot of different steps. So the first thing is advertiser has a minimum of 30 active ads, most of them being video ads, right? So this is one of the first things on the checklist, right? So an example of this is this brand here. They have 140 ads, which is well beyond the 30. But in the first training, we used to say, if we go back to the first product checklist training, which by the way, this strategy is still validated. It's just I'm giving you guys now an easier strategy to do if that one was too hard for you. Before, we would used to say, hey, I only want to find advertisers that have a range of 30 to 80. Anything more than that, we would not want to compete with them. Right now in the 2.0 checklist, we're saying as long as they have a minimum of 30 active ads, it's fine. If they end up having 120, that's fine too. Right? It doesn't really matter as long as they have a minimum of 30 active ads, with most of them being video ads. Now, there are going to be occasions where your advertiser, the competitor, has picture ads like this. That's fine. But we just want to make sure a majority of these are video ads. Okay? So as you can see here, majority of these are video ads. Now, the next thing is it's okay if the advertiser has ads turned off as long as their first ads that they publish on their page was no more than 60 days ago. Ideally, to increase your chances of finding a winner, you want to find someone without their ads turned off. So this is still one of the things that I like to teach. In the initial training, I had said, hey, we want to find an advertiser that has 30 to 80 active ads with none of them turned off. Now I'm saying, hey, look, it's all right if they have ads turned off. Ideally, as long as their ads were launched within the last 60 days, that's fine. Maybe the first month of them launching ads was rocky, so they turned off those ads, but they maybe came around and found their angle. So that's fine. An example of this would be this brand here, Bumsy Co., right? So they have a lot of active ads, they have a lot of total ads, and the way you can see what's active and what's inactive is by hitting this filter here on the right-hand side. If I go to active here, they had 130 ads, and then they have about 100 of those turned off. Now, before, I used to say, no, that's first off, this is way too many ads, but as you guys know, that's fine. And now I would also tell you if they have more, like so many ads turned off, that's a problem. But now I'm saying for this specific strategy, that's fine as well. The only thing I'm looking for now is that the brand has launched their first set of ads a maximum of 60 days ago. Okay. So we just got to scroll down to their first page. Make sure, you scroll all the way down here and we see that they're believe this is the bottom of their page. Yep. So their first ad was launched around September 18th to September 24th, which was about 60 days ago, right? Today's November 11th. So about 60 days ago. So that's fine. They have since then turned off a ton of ads because they're testing different angles. Before, I would say, hey, that was a problem because that shows volatility. And it also shows that it increases the chances of more risk because they have probably are scaling way longer and their pixels more seasoned because they've been running ads for so much longer. And it could be a situation where these ads were working for them and then they stopped working and they just turned them off. But because we are once again going to be using a completely different marketing angle, which are picture ads, native picture ads, then it's fine because now we're not having to compete with them. And they've proven that they are profitable because they're still running their ads 60 days later. Right? So they have a lot of inactive ads, but now we can see that they have a ton of active ads, and that's fine now on the 2.0 checklist. Advertiser is selling a problem-solving product. This hasn't really changed, but I've just clarified it, right? So it should be in the healthcare, personal care, right? So think about in healthcare, right? Supplements, vitamins, obviously anything that has to do with like people with back pain, knee pain, ointments, personal care, right? Think about improving hair color, strength of hair, nails, skin care, obviously, soaps, exfoliating soaps, child and maternity, and then anything like else outside of that, like any type of neck pillow to help with comfortability, which I guess is technically under healthcare. Anything when it comes to being able and physical to improve your day of life and quality of life. Anything like that is totally good to go. Stay away from things that like are clothes. Shoes are not a problem as long as they're like designed to speak to an audience of people that need them in a problem-solving way, like orthopedic shoes. But if it's like stylish shoes, stay away from that. Stay away from any kind of gimmicky things like LED lights, home decor, anything like that. We stay away from. It should be problem-solving, evergreen, right? You don't want to have to keep building and testing new stores. You want to build one store in one time that you can scale year-round. Advertisers using their own creative, so this is still the same. We want to avoid advertisers that are ripping content from TikTok. If you're not sure, you can ask me, but in most cases, you can tell when an advertiser is making their own content. It says their brand name in it. AI voiceover, you can tell that it's AI voiceover. It's B-roll, right? You're seeing different clips, combined clips of different B-roll. That's normally an indication that they're creating their own ads. Advertisers launching ads every few days. This is still the same as the other checklist, right? So another example is this brand here. So they're launching ads every few days, 15th, 16th. If we scroll back here, we scroll all the way down to let's filter to their ads being launched every few days, right? So right here, 19th, 22nd, then the October 16th, October 15th, October 17th, right? October 20th, October 21st. These ads are a little out of order, but you can see that every few days, right? This is the date. They're launching ads every few days. If they launch a bulk of ads on October 10th, and then they don't launch any more ads until October 17th, a week later, that's not a good sign. We want to see every couple of days they're launching new ads.
If you want to ditch those uncomfortable...
Right, and you can see that they're creating their own ads too. Doesn't matter what type of ads. It could be UGC, it could be informational, it could be B-roll, it could be whatever. As long as it's a ad that they created themselves, then it's fine. And then make sure the competitor is using Shopify. I mean, you can install this free tool called Koala Inspector to clearly like indicate if a brand is using Shopify. So if I go to their page here and I go to this extension, my computer moves very slow when I have all these tabs up. I don't know what I need to do. I need to maybe reset my computer or something because I think with all these extensions and browsers and stuff, it's slowing down, but one way or another. Give me 1 second. Let me pause this and pull this up for you guys. Okay, so here's an example, right? So boom, She Vitality here. You can see that it's Shopify, right? Shopify. This is a Shopify store. The reason why is because dropshippers use Shopify. So we're trying to find dropshippers we can replicate, not like full-scale D2C brands that have $1 million a year marketing budget, right? So another little indicator there. Okay, so now that you understand the criteria and why we look for these types of advertisers, here's how you can start to do the search yourself and find these brands. So the free way to do this is type keywords into Facebook ad library with all countries, right? And just throw some music on and keep scrolling until you find a brand that fits the checklist above, right? So this is one of the trainings I broke down here in how to find winning products. So you're going to just type in the keyword. You can still, apply the same training, just now the checklist item when you do find the brand list 2.0. So that's how you would do that. You can watch that training on how to do that. It's crazy because I found so many brands doing this alternative is the tool Trend Track, right? So you have plenty of ad scraping tools, right? I've talked about other ones like Mynea. You might have heard about like Winning Hunter. There's so many different ad platforms, GetHook, whatever one you use, that's up to you. Like honestly, I don't really care. I even have a training on PP ads right here, right? Like this is one of the OG ones I used to use back in the day. I don't really care which one you use. I don't care if you use my affiliate link or you sign up on your own. I don't really care. Just use whatever tool you want. I recommend, though, you use the following filters that I like to look for. Trend Track is one of the few advertising scraping tools that I found that has all these filters that I want to look for to make it super easy and condensed to find brands a lot faster. So it's totally up to you. I get that most of you guys joining on in the community, you're on a limited budget. You have a ton of money to spend. Totally fine. But I'll leave a link down below in this training where you can save 20% off if you want to use Trend Track. If not, that's totally fine. I'm going to show you guys, you have a free method here, right? So we'll revisit these two in just a second. So with the free method, right, like I mentioned, you would go into Facebook Ad Library, and we're going to use a different tab here because I have all these extensions and stuff. So all this stuff that you're seeing here, all these like extra buttons, it's from this extension called Trend Track. That's a hard word for me to say for some reason. So that is, if you're curious as to, you're wondering like, oh, why is my ad library, why does it not look like that? That's kind of why. So what you would do is you go for the free version to find products to look for. You would go into the ad library. You can filter for your country or region. I always just recommend all and then go to all ads, especially with this strategy. And then you're just going to type in a keyword or phrase. Now, here's two ways to easily find keywords or phrases. The first one is just to look at this list that I provided you guys automatically. These are just some of the ones that have worked for me. This is really good, right? Like for these ones here, sell ends tonight, free shipping, happy customer. These are good for just finding a range of different brands and stores to look for in different niches. Now, obviously, you can get niche specific as well, right? Like you can find specific keywords and problems that people may be suffering with to type in here. And the goal is that we're trying to find advertisers, and we got to think like an advertiser and think what captions or keywords would we be putting in our copy that can allow us to find them. Now, you can take this a step further and copy this exact prompt straight into ChatGPT. And what it will do is give you a ton of keywords and phrases that you can use depending on whatever niche you're looking for. So now I can type in these keywords here and then start to do my reverse searching from there. So we'll just go with the typical sell ends tonight. And the goal here, guys, is the way to make this like, and I'm looking for videos a lot of the times of people clearly selling a problem-solving product. So one of the things you can also do is you can just filter for just videos only to make this a little easier for yourself. And then now you can start going through and looking for stuff. So I'm looking for the Learn More or Shop Now button. Learn More, if we click on this here, we can see that we have an EMS kind of thing here. It's going to an advertorial, foot massager thing. Up this advertiser here in a separate browser. We can look at their ad library, right? Ad library is going to tell us the story, right? So never ever come up to me and say, Alex, I have this product here that I think looks cool. Can you review it for me, right? I'm going to always ask you for their ad library, right? Like, do you have a validated brand? Is there a validated person selling this product? If so, send me their ad page in a separate tab. We can't like do it here because it's going to click us out. So we'll just type in another tab. So I'm going to look and see here. They have 140 ads. Remove the filter out of 3,000. So to me, that's still a lot. Now, I would assume that they have 3,000 ads because they're not advertising strictly on this particular product, but maybe they are, right? So I will say in the filter request, we want to make sure that we're still finding people that have launched within the last 60 days. So if they have 3,000 ads, I could pretty much guarantee that they verify when were their first set of ads, and are they all for the same product, right? It seems like so far, yes. So let's see. If it goes past September, that means they have launched ads longer than 60 days, and I do not want to work with this brand, right? So we're gonna keep going. They have a lot of ads turned off though, but that's still a lot of ads turned off. So obviously there's something here, but I wouldn't stress it. And like if this is happening to you and you're taking forever to scroll, like I'm doing now, then I would tell you to stop wasting your time, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. We can go on and on. So a part of market research is being smart with your time. So anyway, we'll keep going, scroll a little bit. And as you're scrolling, guys, you can look in the caption of some of these other keywords and look for more word inspiration, right? So I see here, we said limited time offer. That could be a phrase, right, that we can use. And remember, on your sheet here, at the bottom, you guys have words when you need to look for more words, right? So limited time offer could be another one that I open up in another tab and look for. Let's see what this product is there real quick. Okay, so dentures. Okay, cool. This is a Shopify brand. They're using Shrine Pro, I think, or just regular Shrine. So we're going to copy this guy's name in, and boom. We're going to look for him. There's a lot of Dr. James. We're going to look for the same guy. So this guy looks like he has that going for him. Okay, so it looks like it's this guy here. Okay, and then we have 2 active ads. So this is a no-go, right? We need a minimum of 30 active ads, so we just keep the ball rolling. So we're going to continue to scroll. This seems like a seasonal thing. I see Christmas trees. Anytime there's no like shop now, learn now button, I'm just going to scroll by it. I'm only looking for the ones where I can quickly just hit shop now and see what's going on. Okay, so this automatically, I can tell this is not a Shopify store, so I'm just not even going to waste my time. So we need to just keep going. So this does take time, right? The free version does take time, but that's the name of the game. Okay, another product that isn't a problem-solving product. We're just going to keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Another thing I want to add on this, at this point now, just with the strategy and everything going on, I'm going to write this little note here. Avoid pet products, right? I'm going to put this bold. The strategy for native picture ads, using like images that are like native images with long form copy for pet products have gotten way too saturated now. So it's gonna result into higher CPMs for a lot of people. So I recommend staying away from pet products. Pet products tend to be the most popular for that strategy of picture ads. So I'm telling you guys, avoid pet products from this point on. It's gotten too competitive. All right, so because there's only so many pets, right? There's only really cat and dogs that most people advertise to. Then after that, like rabbits and parrots and shit like that. Like those are pets that aren't that popular anyway. So I just tell you guys to avoid that because a lot of people are using that marketing strategy to speak to pet owners. So it's gotten really saturated. All right, so Madison Scott. Let's see. They're selling a red light therapy belt. That looks like a good product. We're gonna hit copy here. Boom. Okay. Madison Scott. Let's see. Is that the same person? Yes, that's the same person. They only have 10 active ads, and that sucks because this looks like a good product. They have 10 active ads, and they launched today, right? So today's November 11th. They have 10 active ads. The product looks good. So what you can do is you can still put this on your checklist, on your worksheet rather, and you can just go to stores to revisit. There's a tab here that says stores to revisit. So if you need to come back and you want to revisit this, 7 to 10 days from now, then you can do that. But this looks like something promising here. And if they're able to scale this with video ads, we would want. So I'm gonna keep going. They got a cream Irish Supply here. I normally like to stay away from brands that don't have the shop now and learn more button there. But we're gonna just quickly look here just to see if there's anything going on here. So they have 280 active ads. Okay, out of 5,000. So that's too much, right? Like again, the amount of inactive ads is not a problem, but this seems like a legit brand. And look, they've been running ads since like for months now, since February, probably even longer than that. So we're just going to ignore brands like that. We still want to find drop shippers that are scaling relatively newer products or like older products, but are scaling them recently. We don't want to find brands that have been advertising for a year and a half with seasoned pixels with a ton of ad data. Like we want to try to stay away from that. Let's see what we got going on here. We got a compression bag and stuff like that, but this could potentially work for picture ads, but I wouldn't say so, right? Like this is like, if we were to create some long form copy, you could sell a physical product like this, but it doesn't really solve like a health, personal care kind of problem. But, we can quickly look and see. Here out of 390. Okay, not crazy. When did they launch their first set of ads here? When did they launch their first set of ads? Let's see. That's going to be the question. The 390 ads means they've been advertising a good amount, at least a couple of months. If it's more than 60 days, though, then that's going to be kind of tough. But this could potentially, this could definitely be. Actually, now that I think about this, yeah, this is very much so a product that we can use native picture ads with for sure. Because you think about the travel, you think about saving money, TSA, you think about all that stuff. You can even make a long form story where it's like, the time that I missed my flight because of TSA having to go through all my stuff and blah blah blah. Yeah. So actually, no. If they ran about 60 days ago, they have 33 active ads. They're launching fairly recently. Let's go. Boom. If they're launching like new ones every couple of days, then that's a good sign. November 11th. So this is not good. It's not that it's bad either. I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad either, but the fact that they're not like dropping in a couple of new ads every few days like we like to see, then there's something wrong here, because of these ads, right? They have 33 active. They launched 2 months ago, and 390 of those ads that they have total, like they most of them are turned off. And then they just launch a ton of ads today. So like none of their older ads that they've been launching are active right now. That's a problem. So all their active ads are from today. I'm glad I found this. This is not a validated product. The fact that they have no older ads, even from a couple of weeks ago, that are still running, that's bad, right? So I want to clarify that too in this checklist here, right? They should have a good portion of their active ads running from about, from, I don't know, 7 to 14 days ago. Okay, so that they're just trying shit right now, and we have no idea if this is worth the test. Now, of course, guys, at the end of the day, like this whole worksheet here and checklist here is to give you guys the greatest opportunity to find success with this. But if you're like bullish and you want to try it, go ahead. But I just personally, I want to find brands that are doing doing stuff that I think clearly indicates that they're scaling right now. All right, so let's see what we got here. Right, and by the way, back to this brand here, this could be somebody that is passion project right now is this bag, and they're doing everything in their power to make it profitable. You don't want to do that. You want to find products that are kind of one of those things where you can put it on the market and it kind of sells itself, and you still have to work to make it profitable and scale it. But you should be able to basically put out some bait and people bite on that bait. That's basically what we're doing in the testing phase when it comes to finding a winning product. There are some people though that like they're trying to legitimately build a serious brand, and they did not try to validate the product or anything like that. They just think it's a good product and they want to scale it regardless. So there are people like that. So that's why we look for certain checklist items to ensure that we're finding the right type of brands to replicate. All right, so Lumera, I'm very familiar with this brand. Let's see here. I'm sure they actually fit this criteria pretty well. Let's see. So they're selling like a skincare item that helps women fight 20 ads. Oh, did I find the right brand here? Oh, there's a ton of different Lumera. So that's why it's important that you find the right one. So this one has literally just their logo in there. So instead of hitting enter, I'm going to try to click on an actual brand. I think it's this one here that says beauty and cosmetics. And they have 170 ads out of 300. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. When did they launch their first set of ads? As long as it was within a 60-day period. That means they found a new product that was viral on TikTok, by the way, because I just know this product because I tried testing it myself too. I don't know if this is for the same product. It might have just been a general skincare product. That's another thing to be mindful of.
When your bus
too.
starts sinking like this, most women instantly blame themselves.
Okay, yeah. So this isn't even for the same product. That's another thing, guys. Be mindful that there's some brand owners that will use a page to test one product and use that same page to test a whole new product. So we want to see when they first started running the actual skincare product. So this is all something about women's boobs here. This might not be the same page here. Yeah, this is not even the same page. So there's a ton of different Lumeras. This is why it's important to be mindful of these things. Let's see here. Okay, so this is, I think, the Lumera. They have 13 active ads out of 490. Oof. Okay, that's a lot of turned off, but I know they've been running the same product for some time here. So they first started off with Botana oil. Ooh, okay. So when did they first start off with the eye cream? Let's see, because this is the eye cream here. This here, because I've seen them scaling before. Unless this is not the right page, which I think it should be. Yeah, this is Lumera official. We can also search by their domain page. It's the same page. Yeah, so they only have, of their active ads, all of them have been launched today. So once again, we don't want to replicate somebody that has no consistent proof of concept whatsoever, right? This is not a consistent page that we'd want to see here. Yeah, nope. So let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep the ball rolling here. And again, like if you think the product's good and the brand just launched, you can add it to your sheet and then go back and look after the fact, right? So Mood Magic, copy. What is their logo? Okay, so this is their logo here. Mood Magic of 950. Okay. Damn, that's a lot. Let's see. Are they a dropshipper first? Yes, they are. Yep. This is definitely dropshipper. Okay, so they have a ton of inactive ads, but that's fine. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world because they have so many active, and I think they're just ripping content from TikTok, which is fine, by the way. Do I have that updated on the list, right? So advertisers scaling with their own avoid advertisers scaling with ripped content. Honestly, this is fine. Like if they're ripping content and they're scaling, as long as they're scaling, it's okay if they rip content as long as they are scaling. So as long as they're scaling, it's fine, honestly. So you would continue to scroll down and see when they launched their first set of ads. So November, October 29th. They've around 600 ads, so they definitely have launched a ton. So now we're in October, still at the beginning of October. Let this load here. October 30th. Okay. Boom. Boom. Today's though, so this could be promising here. October 16th. As long as it's in with 60 days, we're good to go. October 13th. Okay, so now we are beginning of October still. They tested so many different ads. I believe they just ripped a lot of videos from TikTok though, which is, again, as long as they've shown that they're able to scale with a ton of active ads going and they're launching them every few days, that's fine. Like, it's not at the end of the world. So now we're in September. Okay. And it just keeps going. They're a different brand here, Joy Spring. Okay, so is this a different product here, or is this all for the? I guess it's the same brand, just under a different. Let's see if we go shop now. Yeah, it was just under a different page. So that's another thing too. Try to find advertisers that well. So yeah, this would be, I believe, validated. Let's just check one more next thing we want to be checking here. As long as they're adding in ads frequently, like we talked about on the training, we should advertiser is scaling one product, right? So if they have, a ton of different ads for a ton of different products, that's not a good thing. All right, so they have 180 ads, and they're adding new ads frequently. So on the 9th, on the 8th, on the 7th, yeah, they're adding in new ads pretty much every single day. On the 6th, on the 5th, right? You can see this here on the 5th. Okay. October 30th, 14th, 2nd, 9th, and they have ads from about a month ago. Yeah, so boom, here you go. So what I would do now is, after you find the brand and everything, you can add it on the sheet, send me it, I will verify it for you, and then if I give you the A-OK, the next thing you would want to do is go under Classroom here, go to Intro, and if you're brand spanking new and don't know what to do next, watch this 2-hour A to Z guide on how to start dropshipping. So that is the free version for those of you still watching this extremely long training. Here, let me show you the paid version. So Trend Track is a tool that allows you to scrape the Facebook ad library and set custom filters to find people a lot faster. So you saw how long it took me to find that one brand. In that same time, I found probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I probably in about 10 minutes found 8 brands that fit that criteria pretty quickly. And the way to do this is you sign up. I'll leave a link down below in this training. You can get 20% off. And then you go to under trending ads and you're going to set the following filters. You're going to filter for only video ads that have been running between 7 to 30 days. The ad is active. Language is English. They're using Shopify. They have between 30 to 150 live ads. Category is going to be beauty and personal care, baby, maternity, health. The pixel is they're running a Facebook pixel, meaning they're optimizing for ads on Facebook. Language is in English. Shop origin, this is totally up to you. I said United States and avoid Australia and United Kingdom. Just does not, this part can be up to you, right? If you want to find brands that are in US, Australia, UK, Canada, you could do that as well and avoid the exclusions. I just wanted to show you one example of this. If you set these filters, like how I have it here, let me show you how easy it is to find brands. So we'll scroll here for a little bit and we can look at a brand here. They're selling some makeup cream. I'm going to open up their Facebook ad library and just quickly skim through and look. And I can see here they have 57 ads active out of 350. Now, because I have the filter here that says, where is it? Days running, right? So this is for their active ads, right? Like I know all the active ads that they have here. Sorry, let me go back. I shouldn't have turned that off so soon. I know all their active ads are between a 7 to 30 day window. So I know that, okay, boom, they've been running ads profitably. Great. Now, the one thing I would want to look for is like, how long has this brand existed when they launched their first set of ads? But I would literally just go here and just keep scrolling and do exactly what we did with the free, strategy. But now we're looking with a ton of filters that make this super easy. And some brands I came across were pretty cool, right? Like, so this one here that helps shave your butt hair, I guess, right? So these are brands and products most people wouldn't think of. This is a Fusion Recovery. This is a brand that focuses on recovery boots, and it's a leg massager device, I guess. Apparently, cool. So this one fits a good criteria as well. Another one. This is from a page that's titled Maya Wilson. This, I believe, if my page will load, yeah, this goes to an advertorial. This is a good product too. Let me close out some of these tabs here. I have so many different tabs here. Soothie is one brand. So this one here, right? One of these brands here is like this foot cleaning thing. I think for image ads, native image ads, you can run some gnarly copy and some gnarly out of your feet. Like, think about this as a native image ad on Facebook. That will get some really good click. And then as long as you have some good caption and copy, this could be really good too, right? So I found some really interesting products you just probably would never find, right? And what I like to do too is look at the keyword. And look, now I can look for foot spa. That's a keyword I can do if I wanted to like go back and search for free. Like, and they're still running a lot of video ads.
Oh my God.
Right, like and stuff like that. So like you could literally scroll here and you'll find a ton of problem-solving products that were recently launched about a month ago that have a certain amount of active ads. Like it basically makes it pretty easy to find brands really quickly. Here's the share through. You'll find like 5 or 10 proven products pretty easily. And it should make your life a lot easier. So hopefully that is clear and concise. From there, put it on the worksheet, send it to me, watch the 2-hour masterclass training, launch some picture ads, and just start testing, man. That's the name of the game. And I'll leave this checklist at the bottom of this training. Pretty much everything else is relatively the same.